Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss a Denver man who traded an Old Rip Van Winkle bourbon for an NBA Finals ticket for the Nuggets versus the Heat. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Tim Swyat, Bo Cumberland, and Ryan Thompson.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
What's up, guys?
Hey, so yeah, we're going to be talking today about this trade that went down and what we think of it, and was it a good deal or not, and was it one-sided? Did one party win over the other? We'll get to that after the break, though. For right now, Ryan said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Ryan?
Yeah, I got something that's kind of pertinent to the times right now and where things are heading. Have you guys had a minute to play around with any kind of AI bots, the Chat GPT or any of the Bard from Google or any of those things? So,
no, that's certainly big in the news, right? People are acting like it's the end of society has begun, but I haven't done anything with it. I have no idea.
I personally have seen a lot of videos. I'm sure that Bo has seen a lot of this stuff with like Photoshop and Adobe and all those things that you can just create literally fake backgrounds now. I did, when it first came out, I was a little bit stumped about writing a caption for one of our photos. And I was like, I should try to see if I can get AI to write me a caption. But I couldn't figure it out because I'm not AI. I'm not that smart. So it did not happen. I did not have a robot type up a caption for me, but I certainly would use that if I could, because why the fuck would I not do that?
Right.
But I will say that with the like the editing photos and things like that, it gets a little bit weird. Like I think that there's just a certain point of like a photo, editing photos is one thing, creating a whole different reality in a photo is strange to me, I guess. Like I use the AI stuff to like remove things in the background, like cut this person out, cut this out over here, because sometimes like, my foot's in a picture. And so I have to cut that out of it because, guys and feet pics and stuff like that. So I got to cut those.
You're not making money on that. That's
exactly.
Only on your paywall page.
I'm not getting any sort of monetary
That's
thing,
the
then you're not getting my foot for free, boys.
That's right.
So I cut out, some stuff. Or like the other day, I cut out. There was just a little like red tab on something. So I use those type of editing things with the AI that I use on a different app. But it's freaky. I think it's freaky. It is cool. It's freaky. We'll all be dead in 10 years because the computers will take over and kill us all. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of scary. They set up one where they were like, hey, how would you destroy the world? And this thing like created Twitter accounts and was trying to get people to join its revolution. And it was like doing all this crazy shit. And like, it was trying to like access like
an army of stupid people.
Yeah, it was,
Correct.
But it was also trying to like access nuclear codes.
Oh, God.
So, like, What the fuck?
That won't happen to me if I tried to fuck around. All of a sudden, the feds show up at my house and be like, "What did you do?" I'm
Are
like,
you
"I
trying to set off a nuclear bomb,
Right,
Steve?
right, yeah. I was just playing around with the Chat GPT. I'm sorry.
I was just typing stuff in. I didn't know.
So I've played around with it a little bit. We're already embedded in a lot of this stuff for over the last couple of years. And what I'm really, outside of all the crazy stuff that's out there, the one thing I'm really concerned about, creativity. Like I look at when I think of us, I think about Bo. What Bo does. Bo, you are a genius in what you do.
Right.
Steve, content creation. Beka, content creation. Ryan, what you guys are doing. Within 2 years, I'm putting it out there. Email will be dead.
Mm-hmm.
PowerPoint presentations, anything first draft is going to be done. It'll be written for you, and you're going to have to tweak it from there because nobody's going to be able to really replicate what you're trying to say. But the creativity of the first draft, it's like you're not going to learn how to crawl anymore before you walk. People are like be going ready to walk again, and we're going to forget how to crawl. And that to me is what really bothers me because there's already enough of that out there in the world where people just don't know how to do basic things. And that's my concern is for a bigger thing.
The next generation of what's happened is we used to have thousands and thousands of reporters employed across the United States working for newspapers. Now we've gotten rid of all that, and it's been a detriment to society because now we have the internet and it's bloggers, it's people who put together Twitter tweets and stuff. That's a news story. You click on a news story about something, all of a sudden it's just screenshots of what people have said on Twitter. That's not journalism. That's not
news. Exactly. That's not investigative reporting. That's not any effort.
Well, what pisses me off about the news stuff you're talking about is you'll go to a news site and it'll show a picture of like Dolly Parton and it'll say iconic country music singer dead at whatever.
Right. Yeah.
You click on the story and it's somebody who wrote one of her songs 50 years ago.
Yeah.
It's a no name, but they make you think that like, oh shit, Dolly died. But the way they word it, that stuff pisses me off. But I was going to say, I have that chat GPT stuff. I have used it a little bit because when it first came out, or I first heard about it, I thought, I do all these like 5-minute distillery tours and stuff. And I thought, let me see if I could get one of these to write out a script for me. And so I've used it really twice. One time, I said, write a story about ABC Distillery, including their products, including, you can list like what to include, what not to include. It did a pretty damn good job. And I just had to go in and tweak a few things and do like, what you're talking about, Tim.
Yep.
I did another one though, and it missed everything. It got the owner wrong. It got the products they had wrong. It got everything wrong. So I was trying to figure out where it got its information.
Well, it was putting it together how you would normally write it. So it was
exactly.
Here's the actual, like, to me, like, writing stuff obviously is scary because like you need to have that as a basic life. Like you should know how to write an essay. Right? Like that's bad enough for just humans in general. But I think that the biggest scary thing about it is the fact that with all this AI stuff, they can deep fake, and this is, they've been doing this for years, but they can deep fake faces and voices so well that we are not going to be able to decipher the difference between, is that actually Tim? I fucking have no idea if that's Tim. Is that just a computer generated Tim? It might be. I don't know if that's Tim or not because maybe that's Diane.
That's right.
Maybe Diane has finally offed Tim and she's using AI right now to pretend to talk like Tim and to pretend terrible cork pops. I have no idea.
or has clear thoughts and clairvoyant speak.
That's how we'll know. If all of a sudden his cork pops start going good, we'll know that she's killed him.
I think Diane's smart enough. She'll know what to do, what not to do. And she's got him chopped up in the tub, draining out. And like we have no idea what's actually real and what's not real anymore. But another just like scary kind of thing just in general is like these newer generations, they don't know how to do anything anymore. And I don't mean that in a bad way to them, and it's not their fault, but like, all of us where we've been growing up, look at where our phones were at. We didn't even have a backlit phone when we first had a cell phone. There was no backlight to your cell phone.
That was until I was
and we were burning CDs and we were doing all this stuff. We were, blowing, like we're trying to fix our fucking, Nintendo 64 or whatever. And like, we actually had to problem solve with our technology. And now these newer generations, like, we think that they're so smart when it comes to computer stuff. And I'm not saying that they're not, but when it comes down to something breaking, they don't know how to problem solve because they've never had to problem solve all that stuff.
Right.
And that kind of goes right along with just technology being too advanced, where it's just, even transferring stuff to your new phone. You had to enter in all your fucking contacts when you got a new phone. Everything just transfers over now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a damn thing.
You do it yourself. Before you had to go up to the store to get it done. You get a new phone. That involves a trip. Now, when I get a new phone, I just order it off the internet. Boom.
You can just do so much. You can do too many things too easily. And technology and AI is a big part of that. And like, I think that it is kind of scary. And it's, you don't even have to talk to someone at McDonald's at some of these places anymore. You just go and type, like push it on a
That could
screen.
be a good thing.
Which is nice.
Yes.
But also, like, there's some of them where you don't even have workers at it anymore. Like, there's a fucking computer making your stuff and like machines. And like, in our heads, we're like, fantastic. I don't have to deal with them screwing up my order. Everything's going to be perfect. Yeah, but there's, thousands and thousands of people, millions of people who like, that is their job. Are they good at it? Not really. But
there's something to say though about the folks at McDonald's that are fighting the good fight. I don't know if you pull up to the drive-thru and you get this very sweet voice or this very, very polished voice. Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order? But also there's a bit of silence and you're like, hey, how you doing? What can I get for you? I love those people fighting the good fight. Don't you fall down. You keep fighting harsh voices behind the screens.
Yeah,
I love those people.
I don't know. I think it's going to be, and even all these like developers, like they're all scared about like, we've let it go too far already. And they're like, this is bad. This is really bad for all of us. And it's going to be, it's Terminator's on its way, guys. I mean, that's just how it goes. Terminator's coming, Armageddon. We're all fucked.
Fucked.
Exactly. We don't spend enough time on should we be doing this. We spend so much time on can we do something?
Right. Or, and of course I'm old enough, is this the new Y2K? Because I lived at a time when the world was going to end at the year 2000 because computer programmers didn't do that and everything's going to be done. We're fucking finished. It's going to be power grids are going to be down, rolling down. Yeah.
Talk about a bunch to do about nothing. Huh?
It rolls over to 2000. It's like, what?
They were talking about airplanes were going to be falling out
of
of
our skies. Yeah, because the computers will short circuit. So
Right.
I learned to program in that language. I graduated in May of '99 before the shit all was going to hit the fan.
Oh yeah.
So I learned COBOL and how to find the century fields to add them. I had a number of friends that pulled out of college sophomore year just to get pulled onto Y2K projects in COBOL just to go through, because there's the assembly language and then you had COBOL, which was the military. It was a U.S. military programming language that was embedded across everything, and that's what they used to try to change that century field in there to add that, so everything didn't go to 00 and not understand it's 2000, not year 00. It was something.
Why were we so terrified that like, what if our computers thought it was year 00? Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Right?
What was gonna be so horrible that would have happened? Like that's why a plane would crash. The year 00, we don't exist. Fall out of the sky.
No one's invented planes. We're crashing.
Imagine somebody in some test lab and they're testing everything, and that alarm clock that we all had, that damn thing still worked. Didn't matter what the century field was or anything. It still just went back to January 1st and kept on running.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is maybe going to be a little bit different than Y2K.
Okay, we think, but we were sold big on Y2K.
Maybe not. Maybe we're all going to be
and-
fine, and maybe we'll just live in a utopia soon where like none of us have to do anything because the computers do it all. But if we just do that, also be nice to your computers.
Right.
Yes.
Just in case.
Anytime
Just in
Not your
case.
keyboard's fault.
Anytime Royce talks to the Alexa and he's like, "Shut the fuck up, Alexa," I'm like, "Don't say that.
That's going to be the next shooter.
Ask
Oh, yeah.
nicely for her to turn that off, because you don't want her to go." I mean, it's like being nice to the quiet kid in class. Always be nice to the quiet kid in class.
So when Royce's cell phone number gets registered to receive cat fax and he gets text every couple hours,
Cat
you know
fax.
it's Alexa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The cat facts.
I love that one.
That was the funny. What, you want more cat facts?
All right. Well, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with current champion Beka.
Of course. I'm gonna go. I had this on our last time recording. I've got some Whiskey War here from High Bank Distillery. This is the barrel proof.
Oh, geez.
Good.
That's legendary there. That is legendary.
That
That
was
is good.
AI created. No one even knows it.
Right.
Not to say we need to validate this somehow.
All right. Tim Swyatt, what do you got?
Swite on the set. I'm continuing with my 10th Mountain theme. This is the bourbon over at the ABV Barrel Shop,
Nice.
which has the autograph of the real Ryan Thompson on there.
Okay. That's not
Not
AI,
the-
Ryan.
Allegedly.
Right.
Allegedly, yes. There we go. Shh. Nothing on my side. I can confirm.
Thank God we were quiet for
Okay.
that.
Yeah. I'm glad we all shut it down for that. Yeah. Copper Dome, folks. Copper Dome. Here we go. Okay. Obviously, that did not beat Beka. So, yeah.
Once
I'm
again,
in second
Steve, that
place.
was cute.
It was cute. All right. Let's go to Bo, where he just knocked on the desk last time and thought he was going to win that thing. What do you got, Bo?
I'm gonna do some Neely Sweet Thumped Rye.
Okay. Okay. No, nothing. Silence. All right. Next up is Ryan. Ryan looks like he's ready to go. What's he got there?
Well, there's no beating Beka Sue. Let's just put that out there. Not a chance in hell. Certainly not
Okay.
me. And out of all the balls that you got at your disposal, if you had to choose the same one I'm bringing out tonight,
Copper Dome. Well, you went after me, so shouldn't I be saying that to you?
I had it in my hand before already.
Okay.
All right, here we
Okay.
go. Ooh, that was pretty good for me. That was pretty good.
Again, you
It's
hit the
audible.
desk. I think you learned from Bo there. That was a desk hit.
No, it wasn't. It was on the desk already.
No, I heard nothing.
I didn't hear
Becca, did
anything.
you hear anything but desk?
I didn't hear a thing.
It was on the desk already.
That's terrible.
It's not better than Beka Sue's, but it was one of my better ones. We'll say that.
Oh, he was so excited.
Your best kind of sucks, Ryan.
Yeah.
I know this already. You're not saying anything I
I'm
don't
just
know.
saying.
I know
I'm
this.
just
know.
letting you know, your best is really not that good.
Your best sucks.
And we need you to
Y'all
step
know
up.
this.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
The
Cheers,
world needs
gang.
ditch diggers and whiskey distillers, so that's good. Cheers.
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 All right, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about an epic trade and what happened. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Kathy Cool, and I can't wait to pet your goat. And you're listening to the ABV Network.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about a whiskey trade for ticket.
Yes, we are. So, a guy wanted to go to the NBA Finals, Denver guy. So the Nuggets are in there versus the Heat, and he throws it out on Facebook. He says it was a joke at first, and probably was. He's got an old rip. He'd be willing to trade for a ticket. Well, lo and behold, offers start coming in, and he takes him up on it. He goes to the game, and the Nuggets win and go up 2-0, I believe, on that game. I don't know where it stands right now, but that's where we're at when this article came out. Is that a deal? He bought it for $69.99. Apparently, that's his story anyway. That he bought it for that. He bought it for retail.
Couple thoughts here on this one.
Okay.
Where was his seat? Do we know?
It was a good seat. It was. I don't know the exact row or anything like that, but it was a good seat. Yeah. And
this, I hate to throw this out there, but given the topic we last talked about,
right?
Maybe this guy drank all of his Old Rip Van Winkle and maybe put a little something else in that bottle and traded that.
I would encourage the guy that was selling the ticket. Be careful. Be careful.
Yeah.
You never know. So
that's what
But I do like the trade. Old Rip's going for about $1,000 plus or minus these days, I think.
Oh yeah, easily 1,000, 1,200 somewhere in there.
I think if all is legit above the table, I think it's a pretty fair trade.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's a real bottle. Yeah.
As long as it's a real bottle.
It's not a bad.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, if it wasn't a real bottle, he got the real good
made out.
He made out real well.
Yeah. But this is definitely going back to our last topic, though, of just like.
It does make you wonder. Now, he got a good deal either way. I guess there's the cost of the lost opportunity. He could have sold it. There's the cost of he's missing out on some good bourbon, but there's other good bourbon out there. And he basically got a finals ticket for, $75 or whatever it is with tax. He came out pretty well, but again, I think it's fair. I think this is as fair as can be based on the fact that he got a really good seat into a game he really wanted to go to that he had no opportunity to buy. And finals tickets, they go for big bucks. That's always been the case. And so
I guess here's the next question. Would you trade if you had a bottle that you loved? Would you trade it for a finals ticket at any sport? Let's just say that.
Okay.
Your favorite team or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Would you guys do that? I probably would. Yeah. Like, I think I would probably do that. If it was a team I liked, do I really like any team? I don't know. But I suppose.
I'm a bad person to ask for this, but I have to put myself in a little bit different mindset. If I was a sports fan, I think that's a good deal. And I would be like, well, I can always get more bourbon. I'll never be able to get this game again. Yeah.
How about a concert ticket?
A concert, yeah, maybe
like a concert that it's way too expensive for whatever reason, and there's no way you could go and you can trade it for a box seat. It's going to be the best seat you could ever see to see whoever the band is.
Yeah,
that's how Steve got to see Taylor Swift last night at Soldier Field.
Exactly.
He traded a bottle of George T. Stagg.
I traded for so I could go see Taylor Swift.
He's a Swiftie.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
that's right.
No, I think that's a good thing because again, I like experiences even better than bottles. So. I think that's.
And I'm a fan of the barter system anyway, so I like doing trades like this. It's fun, right? I think it's.
I'm with you there too, Ryan. Long live the barter system and finding equal value for equal value. What you feel in the eye of the beholder, whatever it may be. It's not like he's trading rocks for grain. It's not something like that. You're finding something of equal. I'm all for the barter trade. I'd even proposition, hey, listen, why don't you come over and watch the NBA Finals in my house with me, and let's have a hell of a time and open that Rip Van Winkle bottle together and enjoy it together. That's where I'm at. More than anything. You find other ways to do that with other people, but
if he says yes to that, then you know that bottle of Rip is legit.
Exactly.
Right.
Little test question.
Let's flip this though. Would you trade the concert ticket or the ticket to a final for a bottle of anything?
For all my reprint fake tickets, yeah, of course.
Right.
You know, I'll throw a fake QR code on there to CatFax, and they click it, they scan it, and it goes and it registers their phone number. Yeah, all the fake tickets I got, sure.
There's a lot.
It goes both ways. It's a good point, Bo.
There's a lot of people that do. I mean, it certainly happens, but it's rare where a person just buys one ticket to things. So they're normally buying in pairs, and then if you're the person buying, you're figuring out who you have to take. So say I had those, and I got for all the finals and all that. I got 2 tickets. Well, then I'm like, who am I taking? Am I taking a spouse? Am I taking buddies? Is there someone locked in where my spouse and I like to go to that all the time? Well, then I probably can't get rid of that extra ticket. But if it's like I get to pick and choose which buddy, I would probably be like, you know what? For this one, I'm going to do that to get the whiskey. So I would probably consider it if it was a whiskey that I really wanted and I felt it was legitimate. I think it could work. I think I'd be on either end of that trade if the situation was right. Yeah. So. Yeah, I think it was a interesting thing, and like I said, I'm kind of like Ryan too. I like the barter system, so yeah.
Yep, it's a good call.
I like that sort of thing. So yeah, hats off to those guys. And again, I hope it's a situation where the guy was selling an extra ticket of his, and then those two got to meet at the besides the ticket sale, got to spend the time at the game. Maybe they end up being friends, and maybe the guy that did sell it will get to drink some of that bourbon anyway. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a big win.
Yeah,
there's the rest of the story.
Right, the rest of the story. So there you go. On that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Tim, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112.
Yeah, the rest of the story, by the way, 3/4 of the audience has no idea who we're talking about.
The rest of the story.
right. Like, what's that?
I don't even know how to say it in the
Excuse me. Good day.
There you go.
Walter Cronkite?
Paul Harvey. Paul Harvey. That's Paul Harvey. Yeah, Paul Harvey.
I got my old guys mixed up. I knew that.
Yeah,
was Paul Harvey.
He was old. He was old my whole life.
Forever?
My whole life, he was an old man. And yeah.
I listened to him every day on the way home from school.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's such a velvety voice. It was like Mel Torme, the Velvet Fog, you know?
Yep. Yeah. Bo, how about you? Where can people find you?
I'm on all the socials at My Journey Through the American Spirits, and the same under Bourbon Sasquatch.
All right, Ryan.
Across all socials at 10th MTN Whiskey, and our website's 10thwhiskey.com. That's 10th whiskey with an E.
Ryan, just glad we're done talking about Paul Harvey because he has no idea who that is.
He has no idea what we're talking about.
He has no fucking clue. Let's think about Ryan's life here. So he grew up and he was into selling things. Then he gets out and he's in the bar scene. He's not listening to Paul Harvey. No, it's never his thing.
You don't know who that is?
Yeah, Ryan does not.
I know Paul Hart. I was surprised that you knew who Walter Cronkite was. That's what I was thinking.
Page 2.
Howdy for that.
All right.
I know a lot of stuff.
Oh. Miss Beka Sue, how about you? Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
Yeah. Don't you think that there's probably some people who skip over this part of the show? There's a show that goes on within the plug section.
Yes. This is true.
So it's fun to hear who hears these conversations because there's some good
There's some magic that happens here.
It's fucking clear that people skip over it because they're like, hey, Beka with a fucking C?
Right. Yeah.
And I know that who I'm talking about knows who they are.
Right.
Here's what you need to do, Steve. You need to, every episode, we need to have some kind of juicy information or like a save
Easter egg
code.
Start doing giveaways. It all happens in the plug
at the very end. That way, that's what you need to do.
And by the way, we have a $5,000 gift certificate.
Right. Yeah, we'll find out who's actually putting in for this stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, listen to the end. But
Listen
no
to
one
the
will
end,
even
folks.
know this because they did.
Those are the
Right,
real.
they're skipping over this because we're talking about it at the end. So yeah,
Idiots.
we're not helping the cause. So all right, there you go. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see us, the ABV Barrel Shop, St. Louis suburb, Arnold, Missouri. We'd love to have you there. Let's see. Everyone on this podcast has been there. So very cool. Very cool. So there you go. Check us out online at abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. Farnance will have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
See you guys.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the Hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.